Okay, we're reviewing the last video. Video I recorded, Miss Kirsten, and I recorded, it was kind of a split class, but getting kids into the Quill software. I'm going to scoot over a little bit. And we are going to talk about all the NTAS standards 1 through 5. So I want to go ahead and see them here. Okay, what do you think? Want to just go in order?
Yeah.
Understanding the learner.
Well, you want to do a diagnostic on Quill to make sure you understand the learner, and that gives you a lot of information. But based on your observations doing this from the second quarter, you're like, they need this. So, and then also being able to switch around what they need for their mini project was also understanding the learner.
Thank you. You like the different product options? Like some kids, they have the option to do a slideshow or a short essay or a podcast, trying to let them choose what works for them.
Did anyone choose a podcast?
Yeah, just 2.
Hey, it worked for those 2.
Yeah. That kind of goes into learner differences. So individual differences, inclusive environment. Anything you want to add about that?
No, you always try to make it welcoming and for every student, even if there's students that are like, you've never been here, let me remember your name for a second.
Thank you. How about, a little more learning environment. What'd you think about how we set up our welcome slide? It's been the same, since we've been working together, since you and I have been working together, but thoughts about the environment, the classroom setup, our loaner Chromebooks?
I think it's very welcoming. The kids seemed comfortable.
We hope so. That's what we hope. We love that. Support individual and collaborative learning.
We did that with the group. Not with the group project, but the mini projects where they could sit with each other and talk to each other.
Yeah, we were like, you guys can help each other a little bit. It was supposed to be a very very simple research, so we weren't too worried about if they both found the same article, that's fine. They still need to put it into their own slideshow.
Yeah.
All right, so in this lesson, what do you think about content knowledge? So central concepts, tools of inquiry, structures of the discipline. What do you think of that?
Well, there wasn't a necessarily teaching of new content,
right?
But the fact that you understood what students were going to struggle with Quill, that means you knew beforehand what kind of website it was, and you also been watching them, being like, oh, well, we should probably get more peer support, not just our support, and you had them work together. So, I guess in this concept, it's the content of the kids and what their needs are and how they're doing on the project. So maybe not necessarily of the English content.
Right. Yeah, that's true. This video really didn't show too much content knowledge besides, I think, just knowing that the kids need to practice their grammar and punctuation. So using that tool of Quill.
Yeah. Because they don't always respond to in-class stuff. So it's this is what you're going to do, and then I'm sure you're going to use it to do an in-class mini lesson.
Yes, so in Quill there are many lessons, which we're heading towards. It's just we're waiting for all of them to finish that starter test, and now we're seeing all of them need to practice possessive, plural, and possessive nouns. So that goes into the application of content. What do you think about candidate understanding how to connect concepts using differing perspectives to engage learners?
I thought that's what we just talked about.
This is did I show my content knowledge? And we both agreed maybe not really not too much.
But you understood the concepts to apply the content.
Yeah. So connecting concepts, yes. So that whole watching the kids through quarter 1 and realizing they need to work on their typing, correct grammar and punctuation. So we applied this Quill, we're incorporating this into class. I say we because I have a co-teacher, just for quick plug for that in these videos. I think she knows I do, the one that's going to watch this, but anyway. The differing perspectives to engage learners. Yeah, Quill is online, right? It's pretty quote unquote easy, trying to keep it low stakes so they're not freaked out, but
and there's a variety of content on there.
Yeah.
Not just Bob can run.
Right. You can start looking at articles on all kinds of stuff. Okay, so let's go to these next few, which we recently talked about, assessment and then the instruction. So assessment, in this video, what do you think about multiple methods of assessment, monitoring learner progress? Kind of already said that, but.
Well, yeah, Quill does that does that for you, and then we'll calculate it, and then you can individualize it based on the student's how they did on certain things,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice. And then you can monitor their progress throughout it. So even if like that wasn't seen here, you could see a clear plan. That's what you're going to do as you continue on with Quill.
Thank you. Yeah, and I was, what do you think about being so transparent? Like, I'm very transparent because I get excited about it, but I showed the kids, I was like, this will show us how we're doing as a class and then you individually. So I don't think it's in the video, but at the end of the day, I did show them real quickly, like, look how we're doing as a class. And I said, this is, no one's mad, but look, like, this is what we need to practice.
Yeah,
Because it
I do the
shows
same
them
thing.
those charts,
Yeah,
I think it's kind of it's a
They're-
powerful visual for them to see, like, oh, we're 2% proficient.
I also do that because
Uh-huh.
I don't like my kids thinking I'm hiding something from them about their learning.
Yeah, okay, awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so we've got the planning for instruction, instructional strategies. What do you think about for the planning of this one? I have my own critique of myself because this wasn't a super focused lesson, but this says instruction that supports every student in meeting rigorous learning goals by drawing upon the knowledge of the content areas.
Well,
Yeah.
I would say that you do have the cross-disciplinary skills because grammar affects everything.
Thank
Research
you. Okay.
skills affect everything.
Mm.
You know that your kids can't sit that long and work on one thing, so it all made sense in the order you did it. So I think you need to be a little nicer to yourself.
Thank you. Thanks.
But you can also see that you have a plan going forward. So even if you felt like the planning wasn't good on this one, like you have strong planning for the future of the project and as well as the
For Quill.
quill.
Thank you. Maybe in the planning, would you say, and again, I'm learning a lot through different coworkers and things, but like we had a sample of each different product, sample podcast, sample slideshow. And for me, I'm learning like how powerful that is. Like, I'm really learning like need to have that for like anything we're asking them to do to give a sample.
The only thing I get worried about with samples is the kids think that's exactly what I want and they will just replicate it.
Mm-hmm.
So I always leave a disclaimer like, this is not your topic. This is not, I expect it to be 100% original.
Okay.
And I always choose a different content so they can't.
Do it on a different topic.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Okay.
we have copiers.
Yes, okay.
Whether it's on
Work that,
purposeful
too.
or purposeful.
Yeah. I did do one just on like a similar content, and so I'll need to practice that, yeah. All right, instructional strategies, almost done here. Different strategies to encourage learners to develop deep understanding. What do you think about that? And build skills to apply knowledge in meaningful ways.
Yeah, I think you had that because you're like, here's a diagnostic. You plan on doing many lessons with it. That's in class and led by a teacher or maybe a small group. You could also incorporate that into like those rotations they really are wanting us to do. And then the fact that they're able to work together, or just not even to work, just like to bounce off ideas, that's also good. And you still have that option to be like, you don't have to work with anyone if you're ready to go. So,
Okay. Okay, thanks. Yeah, they want us to do more rotations, huh?
Yeah, and when I used to do rotations at the middle school level, I would have a grammar one every single time. And it would be like, this is the skill you worked on Quill. Here's you applying it to real world things.
Okay.
Things like that.
Okay. Amy's talked about that, about doing some rotations. Maybe we could do that like once a week or something.
Rotations are hard at the senior level because they're
Secondary
more
level?
like an adult, so they don't necessarily like the rotations.
Right, but like we're getting into research, so maybe we could do that. Like one station could be like how to research, right? 2 is checking the credibility. Another one
And
could be
you
the
can do citations and
citations.
bibliography.
Yeah.
And then grammar
Okay.
is like your one that you're like, I know that I don't have to necessarily lead it because I have some materials to do it since there's so many of them.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. That's a good idea for when we come back from Thanksgiving. So, all right, professional learning, ethical practice, and leadership collaboration. So, professional learning. I did tell them I'm in school too. So,
I
but
think
this is like
you are an example for them because you tell them like this is how you would use it, the transparency piece of it. You're also going to school because I don't think the students always realize that we have to do professional development and how we would use these things. So the fact that they're like, oh, this is something I actually use in my adult life, not just because the teacher told me to, I think is helpful for them to hear.
Cool. Okay. Thank you. And that adapts practice to meet needs of each learner. Yeah, trying. That's what we're doing this whole time, I think. Like meeting together. You and I. Okay, last one is leadership collaboration. Seeks appropriate leadership roles and opportunities to take responsibility for student learning. So, any thoughts on that? We're trying to go to a play after Thanksgiving. A field trip.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No.
I know, it's been a lot.
I'm not doing that, but that's I mean, you're doing what you can. You're trying to make it like a very good learning experience for the kids, and that's what matters. And you're taking on more than I would. I would never take children anywhere because I don't trust them.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I started it and I was like, oh, I gotta finish it now. I told them.
You told them. That's
them.
where you're like, oh, great.
Here we go. We're rolling. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for all the feedback. That's the last video. Sorry it's sideways, but
It happens.
there we go. All right, we know how to stop. Thank you.